Larson. I'm 29 years old.
My name's Kai.
I'm Annie. I'm 30.
My name's John Kennedy.
My name's Noah. I'm 23 years old.
And I'm Nick. I'm 25.
And what love was for me is family.
Love was prevailing, and I would say a lot of pain at a point in my life.
What love was for me was sacrifice.
So I grew up in what I consider to be a single parent household. My father was around up until I was about 5, and then he just wasn't really. Like, I don't want to say that he was completely gone, but he definitely wasn't there. I had a stepfather who was there. Like, he definitely served as a father figure, but not to the extent that I now realize that he should have. So I want to say that, my example of love growing up was just, it's not constant.
So I grew up in a single parent household. It was just me and my mom. My dad was not active in my life.
I would say to start, I definitely had a single parent household.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of just me and my mom. I never met my father, so there was kind of, you fall into that, like, I guess, pattern of like letting your child like be babysat by the TV.
Mm-hmm.
So like anything that I saw on TV, like whether it be like, I used to watch any number of sitcoms, you can name them, that would be my, my foundation and in my mind what the Black family was supposed to be like and what love is just supposed to be like in general.
But I would say that there were times where I would kind of question how to navigate a relationship because I didn't have an example of what that looked like.
At the same time that there was trauma, there was always a lot of like strength in love, a lot of choice in love, choosing to stay together. My parents chose to stay together.
Like despite a lot of the hardships.
Despite, they didn't know each other. They were arranged, but they chose to stay together for a cause, and not necessarily a cause that I would believe in, but like that did, even with all the negativity, it did show and teach me that like you can choose to like stay, you can find a reason. If it's beneficial and positive, you can find a reason to push through.
In my past relationship, I thought that I can change someone. I was also settling, and I knew that I was settling. And I thought that, if I showed him the way, that there was a way that I can like change him to be, a better man. And, through that experience, I learned that there's no way that you can actually change someone. Like, if you don't accept them for who they are, where they are, then you probably have no business being with them. And that was a lesson that I learned through my past relationship.
Love is understanding.
Love is effort.
Love is communication.
In one word, what is love to you now?
Any.
When I was interviewing to be an intern at Vibe magazine, Yep, JFK came out and introduced himself, and that's how we first met.
Mm-hmm.
So we met when I went home from New York, where I currently live, back to my childhood state of Maryland because my mother was sick, and one of my childhood friends asked me to come over to drink wine. And of course I came in the door with wine bottles, and I'm like, I'm here.
All right, so boom. So around like 2016, right? I peeped her on the TL. I'm like, yo, need that. I hit my boy. He went to high school with her or whatever. So I'm like, yo, does she look the same in person? He like, yeah, it all checks out. I'm like, all right, tell her I have a ring with her name on it when she's ready. So he DMs her, boom, boom. She like, oh yeah, I mean, I'll text him or whatever, but like, I'm not really looking for anything serious right now.
I swear it's like a movie because it doesn't sound believable, but it was like that moment we shook hands. I knew that this was someone that I was going to be with for the rest of my life. And literally from the moment that we met, we never stopped knowing each other. We were close.
I'll remind her how much she enjoys meditation and yoga and how she feels after that. Because sometimes you forget like the feeling afterwards.
Right.
it's just like, you know that it's a thing that will help, you know, like it can be helpful, but you forget how much you personally enjoy it. So like things like that are my mind of like, oh, like, you know, you haven't done yoga in a while. Have you thought about doing that?
The way I'd always try to encourage Kai is just talking to me about it. Like, I don't want there to be something that we can't talk about, because at that point, that's just a wall between us. And
So we're both currently going to therapy. We're seeing 2 separate therapists, but it was something that, you know, I encouraged for him to help him grow in ways that are outside of my scope. But I think something that we do really well is we hold each other accountable. So it's just like, you know, if there's something that, you know, needs to be said or something that needs to be changed for the positivity of someone else's growth, then it's spoken upon, you know, because we want to see each other be the best versions, you know, that we can be for ourselves and for our partner. So there's a lot of accountability that we place, you know, on each other and on our actions. So I think we're really good with that. Love will be vulnerability.
Hopeful.
it goes beyond desire, but it's like it's as if she had a magnet that only worked for me, and I was just going to be drawn to her. And that's when, with that in mind, I couldn't hold back anything. I had to say, no, I'm going to take a full dive into this, because if I hold back anything, I might lose this girl.
My darling,
Carrie